All right, we're still at Book Expo America, and to show you how early in the proceedings you are, there's a whole bunch of noise that didn't exist a few minutes ago. But we have Matt from New York, and he's with Crooked Lane Books. Must have lived on like Lombard Street, California. All right, so tell me, what are you featuring this year at Book Expo 2015?
Well, we are featuring a number of different titles. We are a crime fiction publisher, so mysteries, thrillers, and suspense. A to Z. We do everything from dark suspense to lighter traditionals and cozies.
What's a cozy? What's a cozy?
A cozy.
I usually think of like a cup of coffee and a cold day.
Well, cozies really are a type of mystery that spawned out of traditional mysteries, although they have a tendency to be a touch cuter even than those. Definitely no on-scene violence, but really what draws readers to them is kind of the charm and the wit of the protagonist. It's all very much in the voice and the world that they create there.
White-collar crime? Standard fraud. I remember I'm a lawyer. I know these things. I'm a trial lawyer. So what you're telling me is that...
Far more quilting is involved, actually, in knitting.
So what you're telling me is that you have the white-collar crime section, and then you got the other stuff. The more traditional stuff that requires bail and prisons. And incarcerations.
I have to tell you, the white-collar crime, they seem to read it as a how-to, where everybody reads it as a how-to-not. But yeah, I'd love to walk you through some of our titles. Particularly the two posters we got up here are for our lead titles this season. This is Wendy Corsi-Staub is doing a book for us called 9 Lives. And Wendy has really made her name as a suspense author, although she's done a variety of different genres over the course of her career. And this time she's going to be doing a traditional mystery with us with a paranormal bent. I mean, they're in a small town. Her husband the protagonist's husband has recently died, and they are going to live with family, and along the way they come across this town called Lilydale, New York. If you don't know anything about Lilydale...
I do not, and I'm from New York.
Lilydale is basically a resort town that only has one real industry, and then it's filled with psychics and mediums. So people go up there 2 or 3 times out of the year, and there's crystal balls and tarot cards and so on and so forth. And people go there to kind of
on the way to buying the lottery tickets.
Got to get the right numbers. But she shows up there and takes over an inn, and of course a murder takes place and hijinks ensue. So great fun in that book. A little different than what she normally does, but I gotta tell you, it's a book filled with a ton of heart, so I think readers are gonna love it.
Sounds like there's a lot of movie potential in that. You know that?
I'm not allowed to talk about that yet.
Right, but to me, all right, look, you may not talk about it.
Let me say, you may be onto something there.
Okay, so, right, okay.
You may be onto something. Now, the other author that is leading us off is a woman named Denise Grover Swank, and her book is the first in a series, and it's called 28 and a Half Wishes. This is a mystery that's very, very much in the kind of, it's like a light romantic suspense. It's all about whether or not she's going to get the guy and whether or not the bad guy is going to get her. And it's set down in Arkansas, and it's just, it's the type of protagonist that you just can't help but root for. So
is the guy in the corner the good guy or the bad guy?
Maybe we should describe the poster a little bit. We have a dark, mysterious man in the back corner. He could be the bad guy, or he could be the love interest. You never quite know.
And she's very oblivious.
Some relationships go that way.
Right. And so that New York Times and USA Today best-selling author. So there you go.
Both of them are, yeah. So it's terrific. And then, but to give you just an idea of kind of the scope of what we're doing here, I mean, Elizabeth Duncan is doing one of our lighter mysteries. This is a Shakespeare in the Catskills. So they're doing summer stock theater up in the Catskills. Okay. And so that's a terrific one. And then some things on the darker side. I'd love to show you to Dark Waters, which is a thriller set in Israel, international thriller, capital T. This is one of those things that's got some terrific blurbs on it. We've got Mark.
You can read the back.
We've got Mark Sullivan on the cover, but Lee Child helped us out on this one as well. So she's a very very well-connected author, but the type of author that other authors are really pulling for.
All right, let me read. Whip smart, informed, and tightly woven, international thriller reeks of authenticity and intrigue, written like a seasoned pro. She crushes the genre in her debut effort. That's not a bad quote.
No, we'll take that. We'll take that 9 times out of 10 at least. And I would love to point you out to Brian Thiem as well. Brian wrote a book for us called Red Line, which is a police procedural set in Oakland. But Brian's a fascinating guy on his own. He spent 25 years as an Oakland homicide detective. Sorry.
So he kind of weaved the real.
Oh, he knows all
deal
about it, and he got deep into his career, and he was getting ready to retire, and he was also in the Army Reserves right when the Iraq War was going on. So right when he was about to stop being a cop, he got pulled into the war, where he was part of their criminal investigation division, and he built war crimes cases that he then handed over to the Iraqi government so they could prosecute war criminals.
Wow,
fascinating guy, really. And not only that, I mean, humble, and knows exactly what he's writing about there. It was a great story when he was going to meet his captain. He said, aren't I a little old for this? And he said, you've been a homicide cop for how many years in Oakland? I think you're going to be perfect for what we need you to do out here.
So are any of the authors of these fine books going to be here at Book Expo this week?
Denise is going to be swinging by on Friday.
Okay.
And Wendy Corsi-Staub has a signing at 10 o'clock on Friday morning here in the booth. So
cool.
We'd love to have people come by for that.
So I have to have one last question.
Sure.
How come only half a wish? And how do they measure that? Like I want $1 billion, but you only get half.
She had 28 solid wishes, but she wanted to save room in case she had anything else she wanted to ask.
Right, or like that's the tax. All right.
You gotta give yourself an out.
All right, so Matt, what is your website for people who are either not in New York for Book Expo, couldn't make it, or are catching this in the future, and now this is history?
We're at crookedlanebooks.com. So you can check us out there and learn all about us and our titles that we'll be bringing out.
All right. We'll be back. Thank you.